You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion, delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take out your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We have a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. And let me remind you, if you ever have any more finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you. And you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are operators standing by.
Quiet, numbskulls. I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan, a plan to save you money, I personally work with you even if you don't have any needs today. Save this number in your phone for future reference, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. 1990. And yes, of course, we are celebrating today. We celebrate every day on Ron Siegel Radio. And National Chocolate Milk Day. Yeah. Okay, where am I going to get some? I'm ready. Corned beef hash day. One of my favorites, one of my Sunday go-tos, corned beef hash and eggs. One of my favorite restaurants, they take the corned beef hash, put them on top of tater tots, put a little bit of, or maybe a lot of bit of cheese on top of the corned beef hash, and then a couple sunny side up eggs, put it in a skillet. I digress. I better get back on and look at what we're doing today. Let's take a look at the markets. Do we want to know what the markets are doing today? Because, well, yesterday was a day that we really didn't want to see what was going on, but we're watching the markets for you. The Dow Jones Industrial Average now down 54 points. The S&P 500 down 1.65. NASDAQ is up 24 points. Oil up $1.21 a barrel, 77.89. Have you noticed gas prices? I went and got gas on Sunday. Ugh. Ow! I think it was up 80 cents in the last 2 weeks, give or take. I paid $5.80 and change on Sunday. Average for the state of California, 588.3. Josh, you could be here for that. Nevada's 512, so you guys still are a ways behind us. Hawaii, 523. I wonder if you're going to get to where Hawaii is cheaper than Nevada. That'll be fascinating to see with that. Jody, you're at 418, so you can't even get into this conversation. And Lori's at $3.12 a gallon. Now, I am looking to find out where is the lowest gas price, because the president said gas is under $3 a gallon, yet the cheapest gas that I'm finding anywhere in the country, this is according to AAA. Now, maybe the president has an inside track on something that's a little better than AAA, but according to AAA, the cheapest gas in the country is not under $3 a gallon, Mr. President. It's $3.07 a gallon, and that would be in Mississippi. So maybe the president might be, well, I'm not going to say that. So we'll just go with the fact that I don't know where he's getting his gas. Well, maybe he's not getting any gasoline. Maybe that's the issue is, he just talks about what's going on, and the rest of us get to live it. So one of the areas I'm looking at right now, though, talking about living it, is we've been doing a huge push. If you haven't noticed, we're doing a big push of yeah, I can understand why they'd kick you out of many villages, Joe. It's just Joe Ingram with us. Got kicked out of many villages. I can understand that. Those of you that know Joe, sorry, but I gotta.
It is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. So been doing a big push because I know that a lot of folks are hurting right now with the way our inflation is going, our economy is going. If you're in the real estate industry, the Federal Reserve has a push to try and kind of tamper back, maybe even kill real estate for a while. But what about your household? So we've been talking a lot about all the different things you can do with credit. And the fact that, and I haven't looked at this, and maybe Joe can help us out with this one. I know when I looked at this about 2 weeks ago, and interest rates have gone up significantly in the last couple of weeks, that the difference between a 650 FICO score and a 730 FICO score on a $500,000 loan was about $236 per month. Now, what does that translate into for cars? I don't know about cars. Joe's the expert there, but we'll have to get that for you. But the big issue is, what are you doing about the errors on your FICO report? What are you doing about the errors on your FICO score, increase your FICO scores? I just shared with some of the lawyers that we correspond with a bit of a factual disputing issue. And that issue is bankruptcy does not need to show up on a credit report. Bankruptcy does not need to show up on a credit report. How do you get it off of there? Well, it's called factual disputing. Factual disputing. Nothing has to be on your credit report, but everything that is on your credit report must be complete. It must be accurate. And the big one, I should get a drum roll for this one, but I don't know where my drum roll sound is. The real big one, complete, accurate, and verifiable. If it is not complete, if it is not accurate, and if it is not verifiable, it must be removed. So there is a 3-step process that basically goes to find out, is the bankruptcy being verified and is it accurate on your credit report? Got to understand the process. Our friends over at creditsanitizer.com, they do understand that. So we'll just share that with you. In the Your Credit Matters segment today, though, let's talk about new FICO scores. Your Credit Matters brought to you by creditsanitizer.com. New FICO scores. You got to be informed. New FICO scores that may help you get access to credit at more attractive rates. Ultra FICO score. The Ultra FICO score is a new type of FICO score that may benefit people who have lower FICO score or no FICO score at all by incorporating a wider variety of data. The Ultra FICO score can score more people and give others the chance to increase their score. The Ultra FICO score has 2 key differences compared to traditional FICO scores. The first key difference is that the Ultra FICO score uses a combination of credit data and information about your money habits from your bank accounts, such as your checking account and or savings account, to generate an Ultra FICO score. Traditional FICO score versions use only credit report data. The information about your money habits used to generate the score include 1, length of time your bank accounts have been open. Number 2, recency and frequency of bank account transactions. Number 3, evidence of consistent cash on hand in your bank account. Number 4, history of positive bank account balances. The second key difference between the Ultra FICO score and traditional FICO score versions is that your Ultra FICO score is generated only if you opt in. If you sign up and opt in, you then enable the linking of your checking, savings, or money market account information with your credit report data that is used to generate your Ultra FICO score. FICO Score 10 and FICO Score 10T is consumer demand for credit, consumer use of credit, lender credit granting requirements, and data reporting practices evolve over time. We periodically redevelop the FICO score model to provide a more predictive score to lenders and consumers. The most recent update to FICO score model is FICO Score 10 and FICO Score 10T, 10T like Tom. FICO Score 10 relies on the same design and key ingredients of prior models, as well as captures the subtle shifts in consumer credit data that have occurred over the 5+ years since FICO Score 9 launched, such as the increasing use of personal loans, especially for purposes of debt consolidation. As long as consumers practice good habits like consistently paying bills on time, lowering their debt as much as possible, and applying for credit only when needed, they can achieve and maintain a good FICO score, score 10. FICO score 10T builds on FICO score 10 by also assessing, quote, trended credit bureau data, unquote. When determining your score, scores that don't use trended data typically use the most recently reported month of data to drive certain components of the score, such as most recently reported balance and or credit limit on an account. By contrast, the FICO score 10T, the trended data, considers a longer historical time frame, the previous 24 months or longer, of the balance and or credit limit to get a more refined view of your credit risk. The trended data allows the credit scoring model to determine what your trend is. Your balance is trending up, down, or staying the same. Someone whose balances are trending up may be a higher risk than someone whose balances are trending down or staying the same. If you want more information, if you want some assistance in making sure your report is completely accurate, and it's not, they say 79% of all reports have errors. I have not seen one yet that does not have an error. Haven't seen one yet with no errors. I'm just throwing that out there for you. Give a call, Credit Sanitizer, or go right on their website, creditsanitizer.com, creditsanitizer.com. Get a free credit audit. You do need to provide a $1 specific credit report. You got to get that specific report. And then you'll get from creditsanitizer.com a free credit report audit. Just throw that out there. That is the Your Credit Matters segment brought to you by creditsanitizer.com. You have a credit report. It is wrong. What are you doing about it? Let's see. What do we got from our friend Joe? He's saying the president was quoting the California taxes. Yeah, that's probably true. Scoring difference equates to 2 to 3% increase in rate. Wow, 2 to 3%. So from what Joe's telling us, if you got a 10% or a 5% interest rate on a car with a 730 FICO, 5%, that means you're looking at 7 to 8% if you've got a 650 FICO. Ooh. Yeah, I can understand that, Joe. The Power Ranger credit scores. I don't know what those are, but Josh might know. He's more of the Power Ranger era than me. I'm a little older than that. Yeah, T-Rex, you got it. A lot of stuff on there. Thanks for piping in there, Joe. We always like having Ingram Interactive, and we can call this Ron Siegel Radio Interactive. Just throw that out there. Forget if you're watching us on ronsiegelradio.tv or any of our socials, you're able to see that we are live and we share the information. You have to go to StreamYard.com/Facebook, StreamYard.com/Facebook, and you'll be able to interact with us, and we'll even know who you are. StreamYard.com/Facebook. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. When we come back, yes, we've got On the Town brought to you by Visit Anaheim. How an expert can help you understand inflation and mortgage rates. We'll talk about that. And what about it? It takes a village to retire. We're going to give you some insights on that as well. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio, your home and mortgage connection.
Is your budget getting blown up with high prices of gas and increased costs for other household needs? This is Ron Siegel, host of the daily home and finance radio program. Did you know if you have a low interest rate mortgage along with auto debt, credit card debt, or student loans, your family could potentially save $500 or more per month by restructuring these debts? If you'd like a free Borrow Smart analysis with our team, let's book an appointment to see how we might be able to relieve some stress. Schedule an appointment at rsrbsa.com. That's rsrbsa.com for your free Borrow Smart analysis. rsrbsa.com.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Your Credit Matters segment today being brought to you by creditsanitizer.com. You have a credit report. It is wrong. What are you doing about it? Credit Sanitizer, they've got the solutions for you. Right now, Your Credit Matters are the Mortgage Minute. Something. What are we? So there's something we're doing. Sorry, Josh. I'm going crazy. The Mortgage Minute brought to you by our friends at Geneva Finance. Josh is trying to keep up with me in the background, and I think maybe it's Monday morning or something like that. Mortgage Minute brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. Ugly mortgage market right now. It is an ugly mortgage market. The S&P 500 is now down 26 points, giving up all of the gains from earlier today. The 10-year Treasury up 9 basis points, 3.97 where we are right now. Mortgage-backed securities are down 2 basis points. That's after, I'm not sure I remember a day that was worse than yesterday's mortgage bonds action. Down 144 basis points yesterday. What's driving all this? That's the question. Well, we got the Case-Shiller Home Price Index, tracks the changes in value of residential real estate across the U.S., reported for the month of July. National Index covers all 9 U.S. Census divisions, reported a 16.1% annual gain in July, down from 18.7. Well, that's not a problem. I mean, it's still going up. Well, maybe because that means the Fed hasn't got the inflation under control. The FHFA, Federal Housing Finance Agency, House Price Index measures the home price appreciation on single-family homes with conforming loan amounts, decreased by 0.6% in July, which was below expectations of 0.1% gain, and decreased by 2.4% year over year from the previously revised report of 16.3 to 13.9. So that one's still going up. Let's see what else we've got in there. The new home sales measures signed contracts on new homes increased by 28.8% in August to a 685,000 unit annualized pace. July's figure was revised higher to 532,000 from the previously reported 511,000 units. The inventory of new homes on the market increased by 0.4%. Meanwhile, the median new home price decreased by 6.3% to 436,800. So we've got all of that is the stats of the day, the news of the day. The Chicago Fed president, Charlie Evans, was interviewed on CNBC, and he was the first to express that he is nervous about the lag time of Fed rate hikes and feel they could be doing too much before it impacts the economy. He sees the Fed hiking until March and said if inflation starts to really recede by then, they can start cutting rates next year. Unbelievable. So what he's saying is let's keep raising the rates until we see that this indicator that does not appear for 9 to 12 months until it appears. And then we hope that it's still going to be, we're going to still have a control over this. So let's kill the economy until it's really dead, and then we'll try and put it on life support. That's basically what this Fed person is saying. Unbelievable how they do, and they do this every time. Other than, as I shared with you once in the past, Mr. Volcker came out and had some different issues. OBMMI, they provide the most comprehensive, accurate, timely, and interactive analysis of pricing ever conducted in the mortgage industry, calculated from actual locked rates with consumers across 35% of all mortgage transactions nationwide. Unbelievable. 30-year conforming rates yesterday, they averaged 6.725. That was up almost 0.25% for the day. Jumbos 6.35. That was up about an eighth for the day. The 30-year FHA loans 6.42, up almost 20 basis points. 30-year USDA 6.314, up 11 basis points. The best loan on the market, the VA loan, got to earn it. 6.311, up 12.1 basis points yesterday. So 12.1 is like an eighth, just to give you an understanding. 21 and a half basis points, that's almost like a quarter of a percent. So just to give you an idea for those of you that don't follow all the basis point numbers, that's really where those numbers are. So interest rates going up dramatically because two issues. Number one, the Federal Reserve, that does not affect mortgage rates. You notice the Federal Reserve did not do anything yesterday and mortgage rates went up dramatically. What's really going on is the market is saying to the bond market, we don't have any confidence that the Federal Reserve is understanding the marketplace at all. If we had confidence in them, we would be buying bonds. But we're not buying bonds, we're selling bonds. The reason I know we're selling bonds is because the bonds are going down. When the bond price goes down because nobody wants them, that means the interest rates go up. You've got to get a higher yield. It's just mathematics. It's not an option there. So if the Federal Reserve wanted to try and quelch these things, now they have done this a little bit, is they're not selling mortgage bonds, but if they were to buy a few bonds here and there, that might kind of put a foundation, but they don't want to. They want to see the housing market slow down. Now we can all see by the numbers I shared with you already that the market is slowing. How do we know that it's slowing? Well, I gave you some areas where we're seeing that the appreciation rates are getting into what I would call more logical area, like the FHFA rate, going from 16.3 to 13.9, still growing too fast, but it's better, right? Because it's not growing as fast. That's why I share that number with you. The new home sales, the median price is coming down a little bit. Not going backwards, but it's coming down a little bit. Case-Shiller, from 18.7 to 16.1. So that's dropped off about 10%. All these numbers are positive for a slowing economy. If that's what you're trying to accomplish, that's happening. Now, remember I told you a couple weeks ago that the Fed chair, way back when, Volcker, he came in and he made a comment, and when inflation was at 11%, he started lowering the Fed funds rate. Why did he do that? Because he knew that there was a lag between their actions of today and when they actually went through and hit to the economy. This Federal Reserve doesn't understand that. That's why in November and then in December, they say already that between the two meetings, they're going to increase rates another 0.25% on the Fed funds rate. What does that do? Increases the prime rate, which increases credit card rates that are tied to prime. It increases adjustable rate loans, hurting some of our seniors on their adjustable rate loans if they're in the reverse mortgage world. It hurts business who's got a line of credit tied to prime rate. If you have a personal loan or a home equity line of credit tied to prime rate, it's going to affect you as well negatively. Those are the issues that are going on right now, so we're watching all of that. Again, that is the Mortgage Minute brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products, and I will share with you, our team does have resources for all sorts of weird loans. So we just referred out a family or an investor that had a manufactured property and it was not eligible for government-sponsored entity financing and it needed work to be done on it. Able to refer that out to one of our private money people. A construction loan out of California, able to refer that one out. Apartment loan for 16 units, able to to refer that out. So there's all kind. If you've got a weird scenario, don't go thinking that just because the big bank on the corner said you don't qualify, that you really don't qualify. You might. I'm not saying you will. You might. And that brings us to our topic of the day. It takes a village. Over the weekend, I was sent this article talking about, is it better to put 20% down on a $700,000 home or 10% down, assuming you've got the money for the 20% down payment? But are you better off putting down the 20% or the 10%, paying mortgage insurance and reinvesting the funds? So, and the article was written, it was in Yahoo Finance, but I don't know what the author had been drinking, but I am assuming that he or she must have been drinking something very potent, because it was written, like I said, the 22nd of September. And for some reason, they were using a 3% mortgage rate. Now, if you are alive, you know better than that.
You know better than that.
On September 22nd, it was pretty much impossible to get a 3% mortgage rate. But I decided, okay, I'm going to talk to you about this same concept, but what if we use a more realistic mortgage rate? I used 7.375 because I did it last night. Didn't know what the rates would be. I am not offering this to you. I am using this for educational purposes only. Excellent credit, well-qualified borrower, but I just threw into the formula 7.375. So I did it the first scenario. I did $700,000, 20% down, $46.96 is the payment. And yeah, of course, you need $152,000 in funds to close that loan. Okay, what if you, instead of doing the 20% down, you did 10% down? And yes, of course, you are paying mortgage insurance there. $5,306 is the payment on that one. So yes, it is costing you $600 a month more. But wait a second, you had that money, the extra money, available to you. So you took that extra money and you gave it to a successful financial planner. And we've talked to some of them on our radio broadcasts, some financial planners on our radio broadcasts. One of them, Todd Halterman, you remember we talked to him, and he actually shared the concept that he's got a two-direction fund, a dual-direction fund of some sort, where you're protected on the downside and you make money on the upside. But I digress. We don't want to get into that. What I am going to say is, what if the financial planner was able to get 10% return, which is a fairly decent number if you're putting in long-term on the S&P 500. 10% return. Got it. Okay, so what happens after 15 years? Taking into account the difference in the payments, I get it. You have to account for that. Well, after 15 years, you're going to be looking at a net worth of $1,099,000. So let's call that $1,000,001 versus the 20% down. You're at $840,000. So that's $260,000 right there. Now, we got to take it one step further. That's only after 15 years, too. I should mention that because it is a 30-year loan. But let's take it one step further, because after about 10 years, just going by the amortization table, the mortgage insurance should fall off. And what if we put that money into our investment fund? Well, now that account is worth $1,133,000. So we went from having $260,000 to almost $300,000 by doing this. Again, no guarantees. We don't guarantee anything on Ron Siegel Radio. I try to educate you on these issues. This is just for educational purposes only. So here's the concept here. You're taking less money to put in your down payment, more money to put into your investment account. Going to keep it there for the same length of time as your loan on your mortgage. You're going to put the extra money in there once you've exhausted the need for your mortgage insurance. And I didn't even throw into the equation here, we are heading into a recession. Almost all the major economists are telling us that. Almost every major indicator is telling us that. The Federal Reserve is promising that. The federal government They're saying we're going to keep spending money, which is going to help us get into a recession, right? All of these things are already happening. Historically, during a recession, interest rates drop. So you wait, and real estate values traditionally continue to rise. So if that happens 2 years down the road, 3 years down the road, you could potentially refinance that loan and get rid of the mortgage insurance earlier and have more money going into your investment account every single month. So I just gave you the worst case scenario of what we're forecasting. Do with it as you wish. You've been educated. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. When we come back, how an expert can help you understand inflation and mortgage rates. We've got On the Town, brought to you by Visit Anaheim. Little clues that show you a debt collection is fake. And don't forget to use these credit card benefits. All that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990 or ronsiegelradio.com, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Visit rsrhomescout.com, rsrhomescout.com. How an expert can help you understand inflation and mortgage rates. If you're following today's housing market, you know two of the top issues consumers face are inflation and mortgage rates. Let's take a look at each one. Inflation and the housing market this year. Inflation reached a high not seen in 40 years. For the average consumer, you probably felt the pinch at the gas pump and in the grocery store. It may have been impacted by your ability to save money to buy a home. While the Federal Reserve is working hard to lower inflation, the August data shows the inflation rate was still higher than expected. This news impacted the stock market and fueled conversations about a recession. It also played a role in the Federal Reserve's decision to raise the federal funds rate last week. As Bankrate says, quote, the Fed has raised rates again, announcing yet another 3/4 point hike on September 21. The hikes are designed to cool an economy that has been on fire, unquote. While their actions don't directly dictate what happens with mortgage rates, their decisions have contributed to the international cool down in the housing market. A recent article from Fortune magazine explains, quote, as the Federal Reserve moved into inflation-fighting mode, financial markets quickly put upward pressure on mortgage rates. Those elevated mortgage rates coupled with sky-high home prices threw cold water on the housing market, unquote. The impact of rising mortgage rates over the past few months. Mortgage rates have fluctuated in light of growing economic pressures. Most recently, the average 30-year fixed-rate mortgage rate, according to Freddie Mac, ticked above 6% for the first time in well over a decade. If you're watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv, any of our socials, or the ABC News and Talk AM 1490 video feed, you're seeing a chart of mortgage rates exceeding 6% for the first time in over a decade. The mortgage rate increases this year are a big reason buyer demand has pulled back in recent months. Basically, as rates and home prices rose, so did the cost of buying a home. That pushed on affordability and priced some buyers out of the market. So home sales slowed and the inventory of homes for sale grew as a result. where experts say rates and inflation will go from here moving forward. Both of these factors will continue to impact the housing market. A recent article from CNET puts the relationship between inflation and mortgage rates in simple terms. Quote, as a general rule, when inflation is low, mortgage rates tend to be lower. When inflation is high, rates tend to be higher, unquote. Sam Cotter, chief economist of Freddie Mac, had this to say about where rates may go from here. Quote, mortgage rates remained volatile due to the tug of war between inflationary pressures and a clear slowdown in economic growth. The high uncertainty surrounding inflation and other factors will likely cause rates to remain variable, unquote. While there's no way to say with certainty where mortgage rates will go from here, there is something you can do to stay informed, and that's connect with a trusted real estate advisor. They keep their pulse on what's happening today and help you understand what the experts are projecting. They can provide you with the best possible advice. Bottom line, rising inflation, higher mortgage rates have had a clear impact on housing. For experts' insights on the latest trends in housing market and what they mean for you, give us a call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And as always, if you have any friends, family, or coworkers looking to buy, sell, or borrow on real estate, can we count on you to introduce us? That's the Real-Time Real Estate segment brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Visit rsrhomescout.com, rsrhomescout.com. Every week, we love to get our information from our friends over at Visit Anaheim. And by information, what I mean is they send us a family event of the week, a romantic event of the week, and a major event of the week. We love this one. The major event this week, Anaheim Ducks opening night. Yeah, I can't believe it's already there. Anaheim Ducks opening night. Save the date. The Anaheim Ducks take on the Seattle Kraken in the season's home opener on Wednesday, October 12th, 7 p.m. All fans in attendance at the Honda Center will receive a 2022-2023 season schedule courtesy of Bally Sports. There's lots to look forward to. Anaheim will have 20 home weekend dates, including 10 Friday night games, 3 Saturday night games, and 7 Sunday contests. Get your tickets soon to cheer on the Ducks on their opening night. That's our major event of the week, the romantic event of the week, which is Potion Charcuterie Class. Romance is brewing in Anaheim. Grab your boo and join Cha-Cha, Cootery Board, and Honey Pot Metairie for a holy cow. Romance is brewing in Anaheim. Grab your boo and join Cha-Cha, Cootery Board, and Honey Pot Metairie for a Halloween charcuterie class on October 8th from 2 to 4 p.m. Learn about the origins of charcuterie and how to build your own charcuterie board while drinking great magic potions of mead. This event is 21 and over, limited space available, so get your tickets soon. Family event of the week. Drive-in movie. Anaheim has the perfect family night planned for you. Just grab a few blankets, some yummy treats, and head over to Anaheim Town Square for a drive-in movie on Sunday, October 9th. RSVP is required to attend the drive-in showing of Disney's Encanto. Film begins promptly at 6:30, and parking will open at 5:30. When grabbing your tickets, be sure to reserve the number of cars in your party. Go to AnaheimTownSquare.com for more information. AnaheimTownSquare.com. That is the Visit Anaheim segment. Yeah, we love it. On the Town by Visit Anaheim. On the Town by Visit Anaheim. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. When we come back, still got a lot to cover today. Not a whole lot of time to do it, but little clues that show you owe a debt collector that show you a debt collector is fake. And don't forget to use these credit card benefits. So we got some credit card benefits for you and another one of those FICOs for you. All that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Is your budget getting blown up with high prices of gas and increased costs for other household needs? This is Ron Siegel, host of the daily Home and Finance radio program. Did you know if you have a low interest rate mortgage along with auto debt, credit card debt, or student loans, your family could potentially save $500 or more per month by restructuring these debts? If you'd like a free Borrow Smart analysis with our team, let's book an appointment to see how we might be able to relieve some stress. Schedule an appointment at rsrbsa.com. That's rsrbsa.com for your free Borrow Smart analysis. rsrbsa.com.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Borrow Smart segment brought to you by the National Institute of Financial Education. Borrow Smart. Don't forget to use these credit card benefits. A few credit card benefits that nearly every card holder knows about. For example, many cards offer points, miles, or cash back rewards when you use the card, and you won't be responsible for unauthorized purchases if someone steals your card. Paying your monthly bill on time can also help you build a positive credit history and improve your FICO score. However, there are also cardholder benefits that aren't as well known, but could help you save money. Look into your current card's benefit guides to see if you already have access to any of these benefits and the terms and conditions that may apply, and consider which benefits you may want to access to the next time you apply for a new card. Purchase protection can reimburse you if an item you buy with your credit card is stolen or damaged. The coverage generally lasts 90 to 120 days, and the benefit will reimburse you for replacing or repairing your item up to a per claim maximum. It can offer peace of mind, especially when you're making a large purchase, but the coverage may also be secondary, meaning you may need to file a claim with your renters or homeowners insurance first, and then use the credit card purchase protection to get reimbursed for any uncovered portion of your primary claim. Return protection allows you to return a product you purchased with the credit card, even if the retailer won't accept your return. When you use the benefit, you'll still need to return your item, but you'll send it to wherever the card issuer requests rather than the original retailer. There's also still a return window, which generally ranges from 60 to 90 days, and there may be a limit to how much money you can get back. Still, it can be helpful when you're shopping at a store that has a short or no return period. Extended warranties. The credit card extended warranty benefit will generally extend the manufacturer's warranty on eligible items that you buy. Depending upon the card, the warranty period may either be doubled up to a maximum of 1 year or extended by a year for items that have a longer warranty. Extended warranties can be especially helpful if inflation is leading to rising prices for new goods, but certain purchases, such as computers, may be excluded. Cell phone insurance. Cell phone insurance has become an increasingly common benefit that could save you and your family a lot of money. If you pay your monthly bill with your credit card, all the phones that are part of your plan could be covered by the insurance, which can reimburse you if your phone is damaged or stolen. The specifics can vary, but there's generally a deductible per claim limit and an annual limit. For example, you may have to pay a $50 limit and can get up to $600 reward repairs or the replacement. We can only receive up to $1,200 in a 12-month period. Travel-related benefits. There are many travel-related benefits that can be especially important to know about when your trip doesn't go as planned. Cancellation, interruption, and delay insurance can help the cover the cost of food, transportation, and if in a hotel, you have extra expenses because your original plans are delayed. You also may be able to get reimbursed if your trip is canceled or cut short because of a covered incident, such as severe weather or jury duty. Lost luggage and baggage delay insurance. Get money for personal items while you're waiting for your bags if they're delayed or reimbursed for lost, damaged, or stolen items if your bags are damaged or don't show up at all. Accident insurance offers compensation for an accidental death or loss of limb, sight, speech, or hearing during a covered trip. Emergency evacuation transportation can pay for emergency transportation and medical expenses if you're injured while traveling. Roadside assistance can help connect you with a local roadside dispatch and may cover the cost or give you a guaranteed flat rate for services such as a jump start or towing. I got a friend that's right now just probably today coming back from Mexico and had a severe broken arm while in Mexico this past weekend and ended up having to have surgery. They were thrilled that they had insurance. They had got trip insurance. And when I mentioned to them, hey, maybe you have travel insurance from your credit card, they didn't realize that, and they went and started looking. I haven't heard the outcome of it, but I will. But now you know that travel insurance as part of your credit card might be there. Rental a car insurance is a common travel-related benefit. Many people don't fully understand the fine print. Generally, the coverage is similar to the collision damage waiver you can purchase from a rental agency, which only covers theft and damage to the rental car. The insurance will not cover those costs if you get in an accident and hurt someone on their property or their property. You may also need to decline rental agency CDW coverage to receive the card benefit, and the benefit card may be secondary insurance. You need to file a claim with your auto insurance first. There are some credit cards that offer primary collision damage coverage, which can save you a lot compared to buying a CDW policy, but you may still need to have or buy liability coverage. Got to look at the terms very, very carefully. I'm not giving you legal advice about your rental contracts or your credit card contracts, but review the terms carefully. Many of the cards offer these type of benefits. The specifics can vary depending on your card and its terms and conditions. Read over them closely to make sure you keep the correct supporting documents, such as a receipt for a purchase, and that your claims will be covered. Once you understand each card's benefits, you know which will be the best option for each purchase. That is the Borrow Smart segment, brought to you by the National Institute of Financial Education. Borrow Smart, brought to you by the National Institute of Financial Education. I'm not sure, Josh. Should I start giving away some stuff, or do we have time to do Your Credit Matters? Give it away. Okay, Josh says give away some freebies. Okay. So let's see what we can give away. We got a home buyer's guide, rsrhbg.com, the rsrhbg.com. That is the home buyer's guide. Want to know how to pay your credit cards properly? This portion affects about 150 points on your mortgage score, 150 points. Pay your credit cards properly, rsrccpayment.com, rsrccpayment.com. That can affect potentially 150 points. The utilization is 30% of your credit scores. rsrccpayment.com. Now, what else do we have? The Divorce Your Mortgage Workbook, mydymworkbook.com. mydymworkbook.com. That's another good freebie for you. I love giving you these freebies. mydymworkbook.com. That's basically where you're just going to fill out the workbook with all of your real property. Send it to us. We'll give you a report if you're looking at or considering a divorce. So there's just a few freebies for you. And certainly don't forget about the free credit audit from creditsanitizer.com. Free credit audit from creditsanitizer.com. Yes, you do have to pay for a $1 credit report, a very specific report that they use. Creditsanitizer.com. They'll give you a free credit audit. And as always, I ask, set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to Josh and Sean for engineering us today. And, of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-0960. 1-990-800-306-1990 or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.